How's it going, everybody? I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to join. Please let me know if you could hear me in the comments. I have a different type of setup going on here, so hopefully you could hear me. Maybe just put a thumbs up or something if you could hear me. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. Welcome. I always like doing these. I think it's important for many of us to connect. We're millions missing, right? So we don't really get to communicate with other people with ME. And I think it's important even just to communicate in the chats, exchange ideas. So welcome, everybody. This is not going to be very long, as I'm sure everyone watching this can understand. It takes quite a bit to do these. But I see people from Sweden, Ireland, Northern Ireland. That's awesome. I love seeing people from different parts of the world. But yeah, if you have any questions, or if you just want to share your experience, I'm happy to discuss things that I've been through, that I've learned. Whatever you guys want to chat about, really. This isn't going to be a super informative live, but it's always awesome to talk to everybody. Hello from the Midwest of the U.S. How's it going? I'm a fan of the Midwest. When I was doing better, I traveled out there a few times. A lot of nice people. Let's see here. So I was missing from posting on the channel for a long time. I had a pretty bad flare, and I started getting symptoms that I normally didn't have. So I had to go to the doctor a lot, and run a lot of tests, and everyone watching knows how that goes. And I ended up having issues in the gut and a candida infection, and it took a good 4 or 5 months to really get back to baseline. I don't even think I'm really back completely. But yeah, it was a long process. Luckily, I have a great doctor. And yeah, that wasn't fun. I was bedbound for a lot of that time, more than usual. Yeah, and that's kind of the ups and downs that people don't understand about ME. Someone will see you one day, and then you might be bedbound for 2 months straight. And that's the problem I think a lot of people have when they're applying for disability and things like that. They go talk to a judge. Judge says, "Hey, you look fine." The doctor that does a appointment with you on their behalf is like 3 minutes long, and they can just tell you're fine in 3 minutes. So that's the part that's really challenging, and I hope more education gets out there, so that people understand that you can look fine for a few days even, and then you can be absolutely bedbound for weeks or months. So let me take a look at the comments here. The worst thing with ME is pain in the body. Yeah, a lot of people experience pain, and tingling and numbness. Yeah, that's a big part of it, and pain fatigues you even further. Hello, Life with Spirit. How are you? Hello from Portland, Oregon. Awesome. Oregon's awesome. I have friends that live there and some that have come to California from there. They're some of the nicest people I've met. Hi. ME can affect every system in the body. Now I have severe polyneuropathy. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it seems to affect everything. It's definitely a multi-systemic issue. Every time you think you've experienced all the symptoms, something else pops up and you don't even think it's ME at first, and then you realize it's ME. Is sweating a symptom? I do severely. I've never heard of that, but I do know that people with ME sometimes have problems regulating body temperature, so it wouldn't surprise me. Oddly enough, I've gone the other direction. I don't like really sweat at all. It's very odd. Um, I used to sweat a lot more. Granted, I was a lot more active before, but yeah, I kind of went the other direction. The blanket of fatigue. For you, it's blanket of fatigue and brain fog. Yeah, I think those are my two biggest symptoms. Fatigue and brain fog and gut issues are probably my most debilitating symptoms. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Um, the brain fog's tough because one minute you could kind of be okay watching a show or talking to someone, and then you can kind of feel it creep up pretty aggressively, and then you're no longer useful. I'm going to butcher people's names, so I'm just going to read the comments. People don't understand. They only see you when it's a good day. They don't see the previous 4 weeks of bedbound hell you've just been through. That pretty much sums up ME, right? The one time you're feeling okay, you desperately try to get some social activity, just being around people. And then they see you and they're like, oh, he's looking pretty good, or she. And then they don't realize like what it took to get out, what happens after you get out. I think that's the biggest thing that I think doctors and the general public need to educate themselves on is what post-exertional malaise is, because just because you seem fine at the moment, they don't really know what's about to happen after or what happened before. And that's really what ME is, right? It's what happens before and after people see you. Sometimes they see you and you're very sick and they still don't understand, but yeah. Life with Spirit, you're in Texas. Awesome. I got some friends in Texas. Let's see here. Cold sweats. I've never had cold sweats due to ME, but I have heard other people doing that. Thank you so much for how much you care. Oh, thanks for watching. And I feel like everyone with ME has a bit of a caring heart. It's an illness that humbles you very quickly. And how could you not feel for others going through this horrible illness? It's not something I would wish on my worst enemy. And I know how much it, took a toll on my life and those around me. So yeah, I definitely care for everyone on here and people even who aren't watching, because I know how horrible it is, and we're kind of fighting on our own here. And that's why I named the channel what I named it. It's every other illness, people rally around the illness. They do walks and they do fundraisers and they call you a warrior and you're an inspiration. And then this illness, people toss you to the side and tell you to get over it. And I think that's one of the hardest parts. I think if people really rallied around us a little bit more, it would make it would make things a little bit easier. It wouldn't change the trajectory of what's going on, but it's always nice to feel supported. Congratulations on your channel growth. Oh, thank you. I hate to see more people getting sick. I am glad it's reaching more people and hopefully helping people. But it is kind of a disappointment seeing the huge influx of people in this kind of space after the recent virus that happened a few years ago. It sounds like a lot more people developed ME, and that sucks. My hands are on fire. The pain is real. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Any type of nerve issues like that are horrible. It sucks. It's really bad. ME brain fog, and I am struggling with 2 knee injuries. I mean, any type of injury on top of ME, I'm sure is not fun. That's tough to deal with. Let me see here. I'm trying to scroll down. I had so many issues I chalked up to ME, but found out I had POTS, MCAS, HEDS, not sure what that is, on top of ME. Definitely talk to your doctors or look into those illnesses if you guys haven't. They often overlap with ME. Yeah, for sure. That's the thing about ME is it seems like you start developing co-issues with it. um, like POTS, and yeah, no, it's IBS, Crohn's, other things like that, thyroid issues. Not it's not a fun illness to have. Let's see here. How do we tell family and friends that we're not well every day? It's so hard in a crash when you're ill for weeks or months. Um, that's a tough one. That's a big part of this, right? But I think getting people to understand where I've had some success, and I wouldn't say it's overwhelming success, but some success, is really teaching people what PEM is. And when you kind of find a good way to explain that, and you explain that, yeah, I understand it doesn't make a lot of sense because a healthy person always recovers from doing basic things. Um, I think it's important to explain that PEM is really at the heart of our entire illness, and get them to understand that simple activities, can have you be bedbound, and that this goes down to a cellular level. Um, but yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle, but that's the strategy that I've taken. And some people understand it more. I have friends, granted, they're lifelong friends. They saw me energetic and successful in life to just kind of a very quick decline. So they understand. But if you meet someone who didn't know you when you're healthy, it could be a very tough thing to explain, even if they have. But a lot of my friends know that I've always been energetic, um, ambitious, etc. And they just saw me get really sick, so they were shocked at the decline, and that kind of helped when I was explaining. They really saw the decline. You are such a comfort to me. Just your understanding is huge. Thank you. That means a lot to me. My entire purpose of this channel is to spread awareness and for people to find some comfort, and hopefully to skip the years that I was trying to figure everything out. Any type of these YouTube wasn't around when I got sick, and I wish it was, and I wish I could have connected with other people. Um, and you could thank my mom for this channel. She really pushed me um, to post when I can. Obviously, she knows I'm unwell, but she really said to me that I have an obligation with how much I've been through. I have an obligation to give that information to others, and she really inspired me to do that. She still does. So yeah, she's an awesome person. Let's see here. It's hard to explain when I say I need to lay down, that either I get horizontal immediately or I'm going flame second. People just don't understand. They really don't understand. And if we had a celebrity or someone that had this illness explaining in an interview on a major TV show, it would go a long way. I don't wish anyone to get this, but it really would selfishly be helpful if a big celebrity got ME and kind of explained what it's like. But yeah, I haven't been anywhere except the doc in weeks. I've just went through that for 4 straight months. I can empathize with that. Some days I feel depressed. I think it's normal to be chronically ill and depressed. What I don't like is when people say the depression causes the chronic illness. I don't believe that. I think it makes things worse if you're depressed, but I don't blame you for being depressed. How could you not be? I mean, we've all lost so much, and people don't believe in the illness. People don't support you, your career, family, social life. I mean, everything's been devastated, right? Yeah, obviously everyone should do their best to not be depressed, because I do think it makes things worse, but I don't blame anyone that's depressed dealing with an illness like this. It's tough. I loathe the older name of CFS. It's such a trivializing name. I only use ME if I actually am asked. Yeah, I don't like it either. I've made videos on it, but some people only know it as that, and I want to be inclusive to everyone who may just be getting into this space. I don't want someone to kind of click through a YouTube channel and say, "Oh, I have CFS. I don't know what ME is," and then they don't really connect. So it's ME CFS until it really goes more mainstream, at least in my view. But yeah, I mean, chronic fatigue syndrome. I've used this example in the past is like calling Alzheimer's chronic forgetfulness, or diabetes, chronic sugar issues, or just something silly like that. There's a lot more to it. Thanks to COVID, silver lining, but sorry for all the new sufferers. Yeah, it sucks. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Have you ever looked into buying a relief band for nausea? Luckily, I haven't dealt with a lot of nausea, but it seems like other people in the chat have. I mean, I definitely have nausea, but it's not one of my symptoms that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Let's see here. Let me see. I scroll down the chat and then it starts from the top. So I'm having to like start over again. So forgive me if there's awkward pauses. I want to get to everyone. Has the carnivore diet helped? A little, at least for me. It's helped a little bit, not a ton, but definitely helps not eating a lot of sugar and carbs. I'll tell you that. Let's see. I feel like I'm getting a terrible case of the flu 24/7. It's worse than when I had mono in college. Yeah. That's a lot of people have described it that way. Let's see. Thank you so much. It's good just to talk about it together. I agree. It's good to have a sense of community. It's very important. Western Washington, hello. I need this channel. Oh, awesome. Well, this channel's nothing without you guys. That's what the channel's for. So thanks for watching. Morgan Friedman has ME? I didn't know that. Morgan Friedman has ME, huh? Well, I'm going to reach out as much as I can and have my friends reach out to his publicist, see what's up with that. That seems like a long shot, but why not? I have friends on my behalf. I have good friends. I'm lucky to have good friends. They really help me a lot with this channel, with editing stuff, and I have a lot of help. I was just denied by my insurance for an electric wheelchair. They questioned a manual one. Oh man, sorry to hear that. I have no energy to push. You see, that's like, how could you, that's frustrating. Yeah, don't give up. But yeah, I mean, someone with a disease centered around exhaustion, giving them a wheelchair to push is about as backwards. Yeah, that angers me. I'm sorry you're going through that. Yeah, the same thought of about celebrities. Yeah, that would change a lot. People don't know how great nausea can be with MECFS. Yeah, I mean, I'm learning. This is why I like doing these, right? I'm learning more and more what people are going through. I definitely have nausea, but I'm starting to see that a lot of people deal with it a lot. It's one of the more common symptoms. Let's see. I'm gonna just hang on for a couple more minutes here. I'm gonna eat and probably lie down. We're getting close to 20 minutes, so if you can, any other questions, throw them in the chat. That went by really fast. I'll have to do this again soon, but I definitely don't want to go into post-exertional malaise. Oh, he might have fibro. Does he have ME now? They kind of are like cousins, fibro. I have a good friend with fibro, and it's like we have very similar symptoms on a daily basis. I'm in a bit of a panic as of late because I'm grieving the life I thought I would have, and I'm so scared I'm getting worse. It looks like Raven and Dandelions. We've all had to do that. We've all grieved and are still grieving who we were, what we thought life was going to be. I was young and successful. I had everything going for me, and it took years and years of mourning until I just had to accept to move forward with what I'm able to do, which is not a lot, but that's a tough part I think we can all understand. I've been trying to get into a therapist, but they are so hard to contact, aren't listening enough. And I said, I can't do morning appointments. How do they expect people struggling to get help? The sad part is they really don't care, in my experience. Some do, not all, but a lot of them don't, unfortunately. I've been slowly improving. Cutting out sugar is helping. Love to hear that. I hope you keep improving. I'm very isolated in my illness. I have no family or friends who check in on me. It's scary. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope that you find some comfort in this small community that we have here. I think many people can relate um, with you. That looks like your name's Ski Bunny. I highly recommend joining support groups on Facebook and just talking to people that are in your exact same situation, and hang in there. I know it's, I wish I could do more, and say things that really encourage people, but it's tough. Let's see. I'm so thankful you don't say there's a cure like many on YouTube. Yeah, that pisses me off. They really get a lot of people. Um, you should always strive to get better, no doubt about it. But selling the idea that changing how you think and thinking happy thoughts is going to heal you is insane, right? Imagine telling that to everyone that's died from cancer and said, you should have been more positive, you wouldn't have died. It's just a crazy thing to say to people. Now, is positive thinking important? I really do think it helps. Positive thinking does help. It does help. There's just no doubt about it in my mind. I think there is some science behind that, but to cure the illness, here by my book, nah, sorry. But more power to them if this is how they make their living, whatever, but I'm not buying that at all. Hello, Kim from Costa Rica. I don't know anyone else with my condition. A few people with fibro. Does anyone else have muscles get tight really easily? Yes. And hi, I'm Johnny. Now you know someone with ME. Yes, I have muscle tightness every single day. I have to take, medicine for pain almost daily. Let's see. Drinking a lot of water with electrolytes helps. Yes, I have heard that's helped a lot. The CFS subreddit is a good place. I've just started there, and it seems like it's pretty solid. Suffer from tight muscles very badly. Been seeing socio for 6 months, and it's helped a lot. Awesome. Hope it keeps helping. Thank you for all you do to help us fellow MEers. I share your videos online. They are short and helpful. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it, and I'm just very grateful that anyone's found value in the videos. Telling someone with ME to be more positive and more energetic is like telling a poor person to buy a yacht. Yeah, no, that's a good example. I also, yeah, no, it's it's frustrating hearing these cured from, ME, because I just had to tell myself I wasn't sick, and once I retrained my brain, my nervous system followed, and now I'm better. Yeah, that's kind of a lot. I'm getting a notification that says ads gonna run in a minute. Sorry, I don't set any of that. That just YouTube does that. So sorry. You could probably skip it. Let's see. Let's see. I have random muscle cramps all over. I do too. Let's see. I could sleep 11 hours and not even wake up. So frustrating. Not be ready to wake up. So frustrating. I mean, yeah, that I've definitely been there. That's almost every day. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna log off here in a minute. If you have any pressing thing you want me to bring up, I'm happy to do it. I appreciate everyone who's joined. Looks like there was like 34, 35 people. That's a lot. I think it's the most I've ever had on a live. But I just want to thank everyone for watching. I'll try to do these when health permits. I love chatting with you guys and hearing symptoms that you're dealing with and things that you're going through. It inspires me to discuss different things. And, the main reason that I did this was so you can see that there's others that have this. There's 30 plus people in the chat, and I like and love interacting with everyone because really, who else understands our situation better than us here? Everyone in the chat, myself, our spouses, loved ones, people who really love us don't even fully understand, even though they have the intent to. Really, no one really understands. So I'm hoping that people found comfort in seeing all the comments and kind of just understanding that there's others going through the exact same thing. Let's see, is group therapy? Thank you. Prayers? Thank you. I always appreciate prayers. Be well. It looks like everyone's kind of logging off. Thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll try to do this again if my health permits, and think of some topics to bring up, and we'll just chat. We don't have to talk about anything too intense. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope that you continue to feel better for those that said that they have found some things that has worked for them, and to those that are very lonely and by yourself, hang in there. I love all you guys, and thank you for supporting me and always checking in on me. And it means a lot to me, and I thank you guys. Till next time, take care.